Yeah, I wanted to just touch on other aspects of Historiomics because this could be a short video, I think. So like I was talking about, like the shape of like the mathematical shape, take out a texture, like the history. It's happening in space and time. Time is a big thing of it. I talk now about being in time. I'm gonna take a note. Like I didn't write. Like that's recent, Also, Historiophany that came about last year. So the whole point of of the history project and the archives project, and the new one's going to be called the Chronotopium, I think. The whole reason why I do the work that I do with history and with philosophy and art is that it's the Historiophany. It's like you have a Theophany, we'll say, I don't know what's an example, like the Transfiguration of Christ or whatever, like where Theophany is like seeing, it's like an epiphany, but Theophanies were, manifestation or revelation of God. Epiphanies, like an epiphany, I guess, like the way that I would use it is the way that James Joyce used it. Like he wrote down all his epiphanies, and he wrote novels with them. So me, they're Historiophanies. It's like it's an epiphany, but it's a historical manifestation of history. So an example, it's very simple. You go to a museum or an archive, you're in an archive, you look at an old document and you have that, maybe the smell of the paper, the lighting, the way it's like it's hitting the objects and the shadows, and it's got like this, it's almost this uncanniness to it, to use Freud wrote a book about the uncanny, and I think it's really pertinent and relevant to this. So this sort of often is like, sometimes it will seem monstrous, like grotesque, but it's because you're having this sort of like folding over of history. You're having this experience of like the past coming back to haunt you. Others have written about this type of thing, but me, it's like it's really formalized. Like I can't get into all of it right now, but I published it everywhere on the web. But the abstract formalization of all these things. So the Historiophany, like that's how you can heal. The Historiopathies is like through Historiophany, because like if everyone's working like in a project, in the novels they end up having these Historiophanies, and each character like ends up like healing from like their own like syndromes or their own disorders or their own whatever, like life problems, and so the Historiophany, I just want to say that it's like this like you'll see here like a church bell, and it transports you in that. It's almost like time travel, because like if you're just like in the moment, the present moment, time doesn't really move. It's you move it inwardly and you move in space. But like if you're walking and you're in your present moment, it feels like you're on what do you call those, like tapis roulants, like one of those conveyor belts. It feels like you're just standing and walking in the same place. Like it's the scene that moves, and you're just walking in the same place. Anyways, that's another thing. But there's historical topology too. His top. I won't get into that right now. I just want to name these things so I can, when I listen to the video, I can go back. There's Sillage or whatever. Like when a perfume, what's the sort of like scent trail of like a perfume, the Sillage, or sillage, whatever in French. That's really important too, phenomenologically. Like when you experience like the Historiophanies or the Historiopathic, like there's a Historiophanic continuum basically from Historiopathy to Theophany, and you could be anywhere in the continuum. And the Sillage is just like that residue like of the physiological and the phenomenological experience of history and all that. So it leaves like traces, And I haven't really invented any of this. I just gave it my own terms because I'm an artist and that's what I do. Being in time, the historiotope, I'll end with that. Like that's like in my delta workspace theory, like this three-dimensional surface, four-dimensional if you look at the surface changing over time, or like three-dimensional because if it's a 2D surface, anyways, you get it. Like all over the globe, like you have areas like it could be like a cafe or like where those call, like in Paris in the time of like Picasso and Cubism, like they would hang out in these cabarets or whatever, you know, like you'd have like scientists and artists and everybody just meeting together and sharing art and all that. That still happens today, but it doesn't seem to have the same like significance. So I'll end there, and I want to develop these ideas one by one in a series of videos over the next couple of months and years, whatever. I've been a little frenetic making a lot of these videos, but I'm going to slow down because I always like launched the Historiotech, the new release, and the official release of this cultural software. I produced like heavily for a couple of weeks, and then I shut down. I'm just about to shut down. I was more prolific than I've ever been. It's crazy. Like, it's unbelievable what I'm able to do. That's just me. Like, you know, love it or leave it. Like, a lot of people hate me for, they think it's my ego and, you know, making videos of myself. Who do I take myself for? But I call them philosophical tourists. You know, like these tourists are making podcasts all the time and talking about the same. We call it radatage or whatever in French, like just repeating the same verse and chorus there, like, and naming, dropping names and all that. So, anyways, that's it for now. Thanks.